Welcome to the next podcast by Millinery.Info. This podcast is with Katherine Cherry, the winner of the 2017 MIMC Melbourne International Millinery Competition Award. The competition is run by Catherine Ellen of the Essential Hat in High Street, Paran, and the competition is open to milliners from all over the world. We hope that you enjoyed this podcast and your entry for this year's competition is going well. You can find out more about the competition on the MIMC website, which is www.mimc.com.au. So let's have a look at this beautiful piece we have here. Can you tell us about how you came up with the concept and put it together?
Well, it started from a block that I bought at Boon and Lane when I was visiting my family in the UK. I always try and go and do a trip down to Luton and loved this shape. So I was dying to use it. So I also had a coat with the houndstooth, a thick woolen pink and black coat. So I wanted to do something along those lines, but not so thick and heavy. And so I thought I'd try something with beads, which I thought would take a couple of weeks, but didn't.
How long did it take?
Well, I started it on and off, about 10 months on and off. So I didn't do any over the spring racing season. I just picked it up on and off all over the place. I used to take it to airports if I was travelling and sitting doing it. Mum and Dad's at Christmas sat doing it. So yeah, it took a long time to do the beads. It nearly didn't get finished because I was so over it.
So is this a piece that you made specifically for the competition, or you just happened to have it on the go?
I started it for something else. I actually started it thinking I would enter it into the wear it for the Mornington Cup the year before, but started it about 2 weeks before, then realised that wasn't realistic.
And for those who can't see the shape, we're going to add some pictures to the website, but I describe it as like a feminine trilby shape.
Yeah.
Kind of an all-in-one.
Yeah.
It's got beaded work in a houndstooth across it, and then a beautiful black beaded trim off to the side. Is this a technique that you'd developed yourself or come across?
I just was playing around. My mum gave me some silver wire. She's an artist, so when I go home I raid her attic, and she has lots of amazing things that she kindly donates. I was going to do something big at the back and dramatic, but then by the time I finished the beading I thought it needed something a bit more subtle. So I thought I'd stick with a little feather theme because that reminded me of the shape, and just give it a go with the beads. So they're about my fourth attempt to make the feathers.
Beautiful. Yeah. So have you used this block in other ways since?
Yeah, I've made just fabric covered hats with it. So black and white one with lycra over it for a Derby Day one. And I've done one for myself in felt. So it sits quite nicely with felt. You don't have to do the whole head.
So you got a wonderful collection of prizes from your win. So it was presented at the Labassa house at the conclusion of the parade.
Yes.
What was in your wonderful bundle?
So I got an amazing bundle of hat making tools, which was funny because Catherine gave me those after she'd just told me, and then got me to walk around for photos and to show everyone the hat with the model. But she'd given me this big box of
goodies,
20 kilos of amazing hat tools. So I've only used a few, but I'm looking forward to using those.
And they were hats by Roland?
Hats by Roland. And they're actually what made me finish the beading when I was about to give up, when I was on holiday at my mum and dad's at Christmas time. And I just had about the top part to do. And Catherine put a little clip on Facebook of the amazing tools.
And she was unpacking.
Yes, that she was unpacking, and that made me, because I was starting to just lose all hope in getting it finished, and it was driving me bonkers. So I went up that day and got it and sat set at night time, determined then to finish it, but not thinking I'd ever actually win them.
But that was a good
But
little
that
prompt.
was my motivation. I was like, well, you have to be in it to win it. So I got a lovely apron with everybody's labels stitched on, which is one of my favourite prize. I got a cash prize from Katherine from the Essential Hats, which I put towards my Hats Off to Adelaide fee. I've decided that's what that's gone to, and some pattern making gear. A $200 House of Adorn voucher, which I'll again spend on my stuff I need for Hats Off to Adelaide, and a $400 hat block, which I've yet to spend voucher from Hat Blocks Australia.
So where did you find the materials for the piece?
Well, the fabric was from Darn Cheap Fabrics,
Which is a black and white polka dot base.
Yeah, it's just 2020 underneath that. And then all the beads are from good old Spotlight. Yeah.
Fantastic. And wire generously donated by your mum.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, exactly. So I did quite a few trials with different coloured beads. But the pink and silver was my favourites. So I started off thinking of doing something a bit more sculptured with beads, not actually sewing them onto a hat as such, but this is how, after all my trials, it ended up my favourites.
The beads are stitched on top of the dots. Was the dots the basis for the concept of beading them in the lines, or that kind of evolved?
Yeah, no, I thought I tried it with that fabric understuff flat piece of 2020 with the thought of then trying to see what it would look like if I could maybe make a dog's tooth sort of 3D percher type thing, but that didn't quite work out. So, yeah, then I thought I'd give them a go with the shape. I thought it might look okay.
So let's talk a little bit about your millinery in general. How did you first become interested in millinery?
I did I love wearing hats, but I've got a 60 centimetre head, so I struggle to, which is probably mainly hair, I struggle to buy hats to fit that don't give me a headache or give me a big line across my forehead. So I did a course with Mandy Murphy. When I stopped doing shifts as a nurse, I could actually commit to doing an evening course, and did a six-week course, which I loved. And then a couple of years after that, I decided I wanted to do some more, so I went to Kangan and ended up doing Cert 2, 3 and 4. So I just thought I'd go just to have a bit of a hobby, and I got to my first night and they started talking work experience, and I panicked a little bit, thought, what am I doing? But yeah, now I ended up carrying on, and yeah, here I am.
And what do you think was the best aspect of your training when you were doing short courses and then the formal training through Kangan?
I think just learning so many different techniques, but also learning the sort of traditional processes too. So we started off with Paris learning the felt, in two-piece, and learning how to do the head fits properly, and that you can always go back to those skills and then try and experiment them a bit more now that you've got more confidence.
So how would you describe the style of hats you're making at the moment?
I don't know. I still don't feel like I've got a style, really. I made another hat with a similar style with the beads for the Dutch.
With hat lines? They ran the competition Unlock Your Block? That one?
Yeah, where everyone's got the same block. And so I use a similar technique, but I won't ever be using that again. I've done it twice now, had enough. So I don't know really I guess I'm still searching for what my style is.
And so are you creating hats for customers at the moment?
I don't really. I stock my hats actually at the Essential Hat for the spring racing, and I don't see clients one-on-one because of time and having another job commitments. And really I just like making what I like making, so, and then if it sells, it's a bonus. Yeah.
So at the moment, this winning piece is a beaded piece.
Yes.
Are there any other materials and techniques that you really enjoy exploring at the moment?
I just really like fabric covered hats. So trims I feel is probably my weakest link. So I'm really happy with the blocking, and I love doing the fabric covered elements. So yeah, exploring that more and finding trims that are a bit more individual and sort of not so repeated by everyone.
Where do you create your pieces?
In my lounge.
In your lounge. And is this hoarded with pins and
Yes.
threads and...
Yes. I'm in a rental place. My landlady will never be listening to this, so it's safe to say that when I have my inspection, the table goes over the little blob of glue on the carpet. And I have a little one of those car things that with a magnet, so I go around picking up my pins. But in my living room.
That's a creative space nonetheless.
It is.
And when you're looking for inspiration for creating a piece or just looking to feel inspired, where are you looking?
I guess Pinterest mainly. If I'm looking for something particular, I'm not really a great follower of fashion, so I don't tend to follow any particular fashion trends. I'm not really up with what's happening in fashions on the field or around the world fashion-wise. So generally I'll look at, I guess, what I've got and what I feel like making, and then get my sketchbook out and then see what ends up happening.
So you're a sketcher?
Oh, sketcher. Very limited sketcher. It's more a way that I can put my ideas down. Yes. And maybe work out which side I want things or which way I want things sitting. But it wouldn't really represent what's going to appear. I won't be able to give it to someone else and say, this will be what your hat looks like.
So more of a development process for yourself is a visualization.
Yeah.
So what is the best handy hint you have come across or someone has shared with you?
I think maybe just during the course, just learning about your own quality and being a judge of your own quality is something that's bared with me. So like when I was finishing this one off, a few nights before I spent doing the little extra beads on the edge to make it look round, whereas maybe I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't been taught that you have to really be happy with your own quality.
This next section of the podcast is with Katherine Ellen, the founder and curator of the MIMC Competition. How is the MIMC Competition plans going for the upcoming year?
They're going well. We're back into the planning stage now after the races, and our grand finale event location is settled at Labassa. We're going to go there again. We're going to go up there for photographs in a couple of weeks. Lilin Chin is coming down to help us promote. She's going to be one of our judges for the streetwear category. And that's another new thing this year, is that we're having two categories, a general category and also streetwear. And this is to try and help promote the wearing of hats as a normal fashion accessory. This is something we don't do very well in Australia. We ought to, especially in Melbourne, where hats are such a big thing. But it's a big thing in Europe, where people, you walk around London or Paris and you see people wearing hats, and it's just like putting on a scarf or a different pair of shoes or a belt or something. It's just something different. So we've got a new category, and almost everyone who's already signed up is signed up to that category too.
Oh, fantastic. So what are you looking for? What kind of materials should people be looking to use, or at particular styles?
I imagine there will be some fabric. I imagine we'll see things like trilbies, maybe a take on the baseball cap. Sun hats, of course, would be good because they're always good in Australia. We had one sun hat last year as the finalists from Germany, which was a beautifully made hat. But we also have members of our community who do wear hats every day. The Jewish community wear hats every day, and for synagogue at the weekend, and ladies wear hats to church as well. So I think that's something for us to push.
And in terms of the other category, the general category, is there a specific criteria for that one this year?
No criteria, again, just nice big prize money. Last year we had some theatrical pieces, we had some racing pieces, some evening wear, and as you know, that hand beaded piece won first prize last year as well.
What prizes can we look forward to?
Prizes, we've got lots of cash prizes for both categories. We've also got sponsorship from House of Dawn, as we did last year. They provided us with some fabulous gifts. And also this year we have Hatters Millinery from New South Wales, who are going to be sponsoring the streetwear prize. We also again have Hat Blocks Australia, Darryl Osborne, and we also have the guys from Guy Morse Brown offering prizes as well. The Hat Magazine also sponsoring us, and also Hat Talk. And we're really pleased to have the Millinery Association offer us automatic membership for the winners of each category, so that's fantastic too. We're really pleased to have Lillian Chin offer to come up for judging of the streetwear competition, because she's such an outrageous fashionista and a fun person to have around.
Thank you for joining us for this podcast of Millinery.Info. We hope you're having a wonderful day stitching and your hat for the MIMC competition is well on its way. If you haven't found out about the competition or would like to learn more, please check out the MIMC website to find out about how you can register your piece, where you need to send it to, and how you can view the pieces at Labassa House. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please make sure you share it with a friend. You can do this through our Facebook page, through Instagram, or through our SoundCloud. And we look forward to bringing you another episode soon. Thank you for joining us.